Unbelievable. Time is flying. Fourth quarter of the year. So let's go ahead and get started as agents jump on the meeting. So who wants to volunteer and give us our mission value statement? Anyone want to volunteer? Come on. All right, I'll go ahead and do it. Our mission and value: Keller Williams South Bay will become the #1 brokerage across all brands in the South Bay and top tier market center within KWRI by attracting, creating, retaining cappers, cappers through our positive and productive culture. As a result, we will profit share over $500,000 annually. KW South Bay is KW South Bay's value #1: caring, collaboration, and business building. Awesomeness. All right, so I want to switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to do our motivational quote of the day. So this is our motivational quote of the day: if people are doubting how far you can go, go so far that you cannot hear them anymore. And that's by Michael Reels, the quote of the day. So it really resonated for me. Don't doubt yourself and keep pressing forward. Awesome. Let's continue. So the next slide, we are having our virtual Halloween party. Is Fernando on the call?
Yeah, I'm on. Can you hear me?
Hey, good afternoon, Fernando. How are you?
Good afternoon, guys.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk about our virtual Halloween party this year. Obviously, it's a little different than what we've traditionally had, but due to COVID, this is the norm from now. So Fernando was gracious enough to participate and help streamline this virtual Halloween party. Obviously, it's going to be done via Zoom. Myself and Fernando will be here hosting it. But tell us a little bit more, Fernando, what our plans are.
All right, guys. So the plan, and I went over this with Holland, is we're going to buy different kinds of wine, a bunch of it, and she's going to be hanging on to it there at the office. And that'll be for anybody that comes by and wants to participate, grab one of those and take it back for the virtual Zoom meeting or the Halloween party meeting. She's also going to collect business cards as you grab bottles and put them into a master raffle. And then we're going to buy a bunch of prizes. So, we may have, stuff from like, electronic equipment, maybe, nice bottles of whatever that we're going to give away. And so I think she said that she would like to do, or have Simon and I vote on maybe like the couple categories for the best costumes, depending on what it is. And then they'll be given some prizes. And then everybody who's participating in the Halloween party, Simon and I will make sure that everybody has either a name or a business card in the pot. And then we're going to pull, some of the grand prizes, or the giveaway prizes for all of you guys that are participating and are there. And I think that's it, Simon, unless, I don't know what other format or whatever else I missed on that. Let me know.
No, I think you touched on what our plans are for the event. Now, we would love participation. Obviously, if you can dress, we're going to pick the most unique costumes. So we're looking to host it for maybe 2 hours, give or take, depending on how many participants. But I'm very excited, looking forward to it. And obviously, we're going to be having some door prizes as well. So that'll be Thursday, October 29th. That's from 6 to 8 o'clock. So love to see all of you participate and be part of it. Different than what we are usually accustomed to, but we're going to make the very best of it. So everyone is welcome. If you want to dress up your children as well, that will take into consideration for the raffle as well. Any last thoughts, Fernando?
No, that's it. I mean, if you guys want to touch base on any loan questions or any scenario questions right now or anything like that, state of the market kind of situation, just let me know. I'm right now open to take questions or whatever's out there.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and take this slide off real quick, Natalie. Let's see. No, I don't see any questions, Fernando. So awesome. Well, I appreciate it, Fernando. Thank you so much, and very much looking forward to this event. So again, that'll be Thursday, October 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. The virtual Zoom ID link is on top, but we will definitely be sending it out on a weekly basis to you as well. You can always reach out to us as well if you have any additional questions. All right, so thanks again, Fernando.
Thanks, guys. All righty, take care.
You too. All right, next slide, please. Okay, so we have a panelist. We're going to be talking about what happens after close of escrow. So this is something that we've been working for the last couple of weeks to spearhead this, but I have Sheen from First American Home Warranty. I have Dave Nordell from Farmers Insurance and Ray on the call, and we're going to touch base a little bit on some of the avenues on what they're seeing from their perspectives. So is Sean, Ray, and David on the call?
I'm here.
Awesome. Yes, hey, Nat, can you, okay, thank you. Hey, how you doing, Sean? Awesome, awesome.
Hey there, how are you?
Is Ray on the call?
I am here, Simon. Thank you.
Awesome. Ray, awesome. And is David on the call?
Is it about what we're talking about?
I don't see David.
I don't see David either.
Okay. All right, no worries. We'll see if he'll jump on the call. But let's start with you, Ray. So one of the components that you and I have been touching on, what type of calls do you get after a close of escrow from your perspective as a home inspector?
Well, by far, the number one calls we receive after the close of escrow is the clients believe that we missed something during the inspection. And by far, the number one claim would be mold or water intrusion. A lot of the times, though, this happens with flip properties, okay? An inspector can only report what he can see. You know, we don't have x-ray vision. We can't see behind the wall. We're not allowed to move personal items, especially furniture like a stove, an oven, anything like that. I had a situation recently where it came up. It was on a flip property, and the client was actually a lawyer. She was an attorney, and I could tell by the suggestive language she was using where she was leading into. And she was like, "Yeah, you guys didn't report the mold. You guys didn't report the water intrusion." And I actually dove into the report with her, and I was like, "You know what? It's on page 17, section 2. We reported microbial growth. We reported water intrusion, and so on and so forth." She was like, "Well, how come you guys didn't spot this or let me know about it?" And I was like, "Well, we actually did. We put it in the report, and we let you know at the time of the inspection." Honestly, this comes back to, I would say, around 95, 98% of the times, the clients never read the inspection report. They honestly don't. I stress it on the agents to educate their clients to read the inspection report. They're going to spend a few $100s on an inspection on average, so why wouldn't they read the report? The proof is in the pudding. All the details are always in the report. Most of the time, they never read it, and then we end up fielding calls after saying we missed something. Granted, inspectors are not perfect, okay? It's not a perfect world. I understand that. I've had situations where inspectors miss, say, galvanized plumbing. I don't know how they would miss it, but they missed galvanized plumbing in the property. They ended up paying $12,000 to have the pipe to have the house repiped for the client because the inspector did truly miss it. So inspection companies have to stand by the reports. If they do honestly miss something, they're going to have to bend for the client. And then if everything's in the report, the clients just need to read the report. The agents need to educate their clients to read the report.
And if I can just jump in here real quick, Ray, I'd like to share a little anecdote that I had a client probably 2 or 3 years ago. They ran into a situation where he had just purchased a home. I think he closed on it a couple months before, and I ended up getting a call because his sewer line had gotten backed up, and a tree root had grown into the sewer line. Now, he did have some coverage for backup, damage caused by the water backup of the sewer. So, you know, the property on the inside of the home was covered. But regrettably, the insurance does not typically cover any kind of wear and tear or maintenance issues, such as tree roots growing into service lines. So the service line itself, the client was responsible for. And the reason why this wasn't discovered 2 months before is because the client had declined a sewer inspection. You know, it was called out in the report that he should get it. His agent, you know, didn't advise him not to get it, luckily, and had it in writing that, you know, he was advised to check the sewer. Bottom line is that it ended up costing this client $70,000 to replace the sewer line because there was terrain.
How much?
$70,000 because the sewer line had to go up 50 feet to reach the main line.
Interesting.
So he had to pay out of pocket for that, you know, and that was a real hit to him. But it's really important that his agents, you know, you do make sure that they read the report and that you do not advise them whether or not to, you know, get an inspection or not get an inspection. You just want to be sure that they read it. If they have any questions, you should, you know, talk to Ray or the inspector and, you know, get clarification on that directly from the inspector.
Got it.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Sorry to interrupt, Simon. There's on the inspection waiver form, that's not for your client. I just want to add this. That's not saying your client's waiving any inspections, okay? You could actually get a general home inspection done. You could still fill out the waiver inspection form saying that this company prepared the inspection report for the client and the client is declining any further investigations or any further inspections. It's just a great way to protect yourself, guys. If your clients are declining to do, say, a sewer scope or a mold evaluation, great way to protect yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ray. Now, the question is to you, David. What are some of the most common claims that you are receiving from an insurance perspective?
So aside from the wildfires that are occurring all over the state right now, the most common claim that we actually see are water leaks, and specifically pinhole water leaks. And what a lot of buyers are not necessarily aware of is that from an insurance standpoint, we know that the numbers and statistically, if you have or have had a water claim on a property, you are much more likely, you're like 3 times more likely to experience another water claim. And that's especially the case if the piping hasn't been replaced. So, you know, when it comes down to that, the one thing that I'll say there is that, you know, insurance universally will pay for what they call, and I'm quoting here, sudden and accidental water damage. What we've seen, it's probably about 50-50 in terms of the water claims recently. Half of them are sudden and accidental, and the other half are what we would call pinhole leaks. And so this is, you know, just deterioration of the piping in the home, because a lot of them are old piping that, you know, may be PVC or even galvanized. And the chemicals that we treat our water with now and have been for the past 3 decades actually have been corroding that piping, which is why the insurance industry is seeing such an uptick in those water claims. So yeah, it's very, and as an insurance agent, when we pull up a property address, when we're doing a quote for, you know, a client, we can actually see past claims on the property. So if you know, as an agent, when you're in an escrow transaction, even if someone has an agent already, I would encourage you to, whoever you have a relationship with for insurance, reach out to them and just have them, you know, give your client a quote so that you can actually see whether or not there have been water claims on the property. Because as soon as we do the quote, that information pulls in for us, and then we can advise you of that so that you can have that discussion with your clients about, hey, you know, there was a $20,000 water claim on the property. Maybe you should talk to the owners about whether or not they replaced all the piping in the home, or if they just, you know, replaced that one section, or find out what happened. Because we don't get all the details of what happened on the claims. We just see there was a water claim for this amount paid on this date.
And that's a valid point, David, because if the property is on a slab, that means you would technically be breaking concrete. You know, so that's a very good question. You know, on a raised foundation, it works a little different because the plumber can, you know, go under and correct the problem, and it could be more cost effective that way. But if it's on a slab and you got to break concrete, it can definitely be extremely expensive. And I know this from experience on my personal property and also my parents' property just this year, same situation. And it was the hot water line. And we would have never noticed. I noticed because I was barefoot and I felt the floor super hot. It's like, it's weird. It was a hot day in the summer, but it was extremely, and then as soon as I stepped somewhere, I was completely cold. So that was an indication that that's where the water line was going. And sure enough, we ended up calling the insurance claim, and sure enough, there was a tweak in a small leak. So we had to reroute the entire house. It was just best to do the entire plumbing in the property. And the home is not that old. It was built in the 70s, you know, but again, you know, when people use the water, different times, pressures, you know, eventually it takes a toll, and this is where we see the problems. But from a perspective of a buyer, this is why you got to be very diligent, you know, get a home inspection done, you know, and always ask for home warranty. So now that would follows up to my question to Sean, you know, the same question that I mentioned to Ray. What are some of the calls that you're getting right after close of escrow, Sean?
Hi, Simon. Thanks for having me. Absolutely. So some of the calls that I get mainly aren't, you know, things that like, you know, that they're not being covered, but it's just the capacity of which will cover it. So just like with everything else, I personally would love to cover everything, but First American makes me put caps on things, and there's limits on things. Realistically, and I would say this to you guys, but I would never tell a homeowner this. It's like a $700-800 policy. So of course there's going to be some caps. There's going to be some limits. So those are mainly the phone calls that I get. So no problem. You know, we replace water heaters all day. This is my favorite example. We replace water heaters all day. We will cover the labor and the equipment, but there are sometimes going to be modifications or codes that need to be brought up. And so sometimes that's where the disconnect is that when you guys are going to these homes and you guys are going through escrow and you guys give them a home warranty brochure, nobody really reads the fine print. It looks really nice on the outside and the cover is really shiny and we cover everything and rekey and pest control, but there is the fine print. So some of those fine prints that I would love for the agents to be able to educate their homeowners just so that there's less of a disconnect later would be that there are going to be limits on things. Modifications and codes need to be brought up when we're replacing an older unit, especially like water heaters or air conditioning units. I made a list. And pre-existing. So pre-existing conditions, obviously, you know, when you're going through the home inspection, I hear homeowners that have told me, oh, my agent said this would be covered under home warranty. Well, not necessarily. It might be covered, but depending on how soon after it breaks, after the close of escrow, was it determined in your home inspection? So if it is, that's going to kind of be like your rule of thumb. So I get calls, another one, like last week, I was kind of pinned between two separate agents who were calling me on both sides. One had the listing, one had the buyers. And they're saying, well, the home inspector said the air conditioner's on its last leg, but it's working. I said, yeah, rule of thumb, it's covered. If it's working and the home inspector clears it, it's covered. It doesn't matter if it's a 100-year-old furnace. And then I'll get the buyer's agent that says, well, it's on its last leg. Is it covered? And I'm like, well, yeah, but they're like, well, it's on its last leg. I'm like, well, you know, so there's no real gray area. My rule of thumb is if it's covered or if it's working at the close of escrow, it's a covered item. And then access issue, but that's something else. So it's really just about educating your clients. I don't get a certain kind of like appliance or unit that is more defective than others. To me, honestly, it's seasonal. Right now, you guys can imagine I'm getting a lot more AC calls than heater calls, but in the winter, I'm getting heater calls. So it's really seasonal for me as far as which calls I get called on the most.
Beautiful. Appreciate that, Sean. Okay, David, question for you, sir. What is the difference in what a home insurance covers compared to a home warranty?
Great question. Thank you, Simon. So, and this is also one of the calls that we get every so often. Our clients calling us to ask about, hey, my AC unit broke down. Is there coverage for that? Or, you know, my water heater isn't working, or et cetera, right? And so one of the big differences between home warranty and homeowners insurance is that homeowners insurance, and again, this is universal in the industry, does not cover what they call wear and tear or maintenance issues. So if there's any type of a maintenance issue, or something's just broken down over time, that's not something that insurance would cover. And so as Sean said, for the particular items that they purchase coverage for their home warranty, that would be something that they would contact their home warranty specialist about. So that's kind of the difference there in terms of insurance versus home warranty, is that insurance is not a maintenance wear and tear type of policy. Home warranty does cover some of that.
And going back to Ray's question regarding the home warranty, and this is a question to you, Sean. What is typical time frame that a warranty covers? Is it 6 months? Is it 12 months? 15 months? What is the norm?
Well, standard for your office, in your office in particular, Simon, you have a Crest office, meaning that you guys have your home warranty done through Crest, unless I'm mistaken at this point. But ever since I've started, I've always assumed your guys' office is a Crest office, meaning, so your policies will last for 13 months.
Okay, so
We do have a 2-year policy that just got released, and there is now a 2-year policy that we can provide you.
Beautiful. Awesome. All right, question to you, Mr. Ray. In your perspective and your expertise as a home inspector, what are some of the red flags that you typically see common? And I'm just generalizing, a standard home. What are some of the most unique, common situations you come across?
The most common defects we find?
Yes.
By far the most common defect is HDCI not grounded, or a hot wired mixed with grounder. It always has to do something with HDCI. A lot of the times electrical issues, we'll see double spliced or double tapped, triple tapped breakers. That's very common. The way I like to explain it to clients, though, is most of the issues we find are minor in nature. Okay, so even if it is a double tap or triple tap breaker, it's not expensive to fix. It's not expensive to have it corrected. But by far the most common defects we see in a home is your HDCI, your electrical. David brought up a good point with plumbing. Leaking is especially in a raised foundation. When we start running the water, see, when I first get into a home, I'll start flushing every toilet. Depending on what restroom I'm in, I like to run multiple streams of waters. So I'll run the shower, I'll flush the toilet multiple times, run the sink. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to get thousands of gallons of water through that plumbing. So when I get underneath the foundation, if there is any leaks, I'm gonna be able to spot it, okay? A lot of the times though, these properties have high water pressure. People ask me, why is that a big deal? Okay, I love high water pressure too. I would hate low water pressure, okay? I love normal water pressure. The reason why high water pressure is a big deal, because it wears off the seals in your plumbing, okay? So if it doesn't look like Niagara Falls underneath the raised foundation, give it about a year or two. It definitely will.
I like how you put that in perspective. That's funny. Awesome. All right. Is there any general questions that anyone has for the panelists? This is an opportunity to, ask a question to David, who's with Farmers Insurance, Sean, and obviously Ray as well. Any questions? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate all three of you. Thank you so much for taking time of your daily schedule to talk to our group. I think this was a wealth of information. So thanks again. Really appreciate you all.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Simon. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Ray. All right, let's go ahead and continue with our meeting. So next slide, please. All right, happy birthday for all the October birthdays here. Wow, look at the list of baby birthdays here for all. Roger, Gina, Kim our broker, Tina Choi, I think Tina's birthday is this Friday. So congrats. Happy birthday to all the names on this list. And I like the disco happy birthday logo. Kind of reminds me in the 70s. Awesome. Next slide, please. Happy work anniversary. Wow, look at the list of people. Nick, Sandra, Carol, Eden, Luli, Peter, Maeve, Nick, Anthony, Michael. Look, the list goes on and on and on. So congratulations on your work anniversary. Love the video too, Mr. Miyagi. Congratulations for Cappy, Maeve. I'm not sure if Maeve, I know she's super busy these days. Every time I reach out to her, she's out on an inspection, opening up escrow. So congratulations. This is the end results, you know, capping and being at 100%. So congratulations to Maeve for capping. Next slide, please. All right, Jennifer. Congratulations, Jennifer, for capping as well. Love it. Look at all these phenomenal agents getting 100% of their commission. So congratulations, Jennifer, for capping. All right. I'm not even sure how to pronounce her name. Is it Jolene? On her first listing, congratulations, phenomenal. You know, I go back 20-something years ago when I got my first listing. I was super excited. And it was nerve-wracking at the same time, you know, my first listing, and it happened to be in the city of Whittier. That's where I started my career in real estate, was in the city of Whittier. So it's always exciting to get that first, because you'll never forget your first listing. Think about your first listing, where that was. So congratulations on getting your first listing, and many, many more to come. All right, Lisa Scott, congratulations on her first closing. That is phenomenal, phenomenal. So again, think about your first closing, you know, your first buyer opening escrow, your first listing, opening up escrow, and then finally to get to the home stretch to close the deal. So congratulations to Lisa on her first closing. Jacob, also congratulations to Jacob for his first closing. I know, you know, it's fun, exciting, at the same time, very nerve-wracking to get through the emotional process of a transaction. Now, you're always, your goal is always to have a very smooth transaction. You know, my first experience was a nightmare, but we got through it with my mentor, and I was able to close the deal. But man, was I nervous. So, you know, congratulations to all the individuals on this slide here for closing their first closing. So awesome stuff. Next slide. Oh my gosh, Banu, I was just talking to her yesterday. She was here at the office. So congratulations, Banu, for your first closing. I know she's a very unique person. I love her to death. You know, she is very hands-on, ask a lot of questions, and ultimately the end result of her closing her first transaction. So congratulations, Banu. Good job, keep the momentum going. All right, Patricia, also congratulations on your first closing. Woo, woo. You know, Patricia was one that resonates to me because from the very beginning in January when I met Patricia, you know, she's very unique, and I love her tenacity, I love her energy, and for her to get her first closing, I know we've had some challenges, some frustrations, but at the end results, look, her accomplishment of closing. So Patricia, congratulations on your first closing. All right, Mr. Ho Chung, growth partner. Awesome, Mr. Ho. Love it. You know, Ho has been with us for many, many years, so it's always good to see growth in our agents and the ability to you know, align ourselves with our agents. So congratulations, Ho, on growing the market share. Also, Luis Palacios, congratulations on Growth Partner 2. The individual that he brought in was a phenomenal guy that I met about maybe 3 weeks ago. High energy and really eager to learn the industry. So under the leadership of Luis, he's going to be in good hands. So congratulations to Luis for introducing and providing us with a phenomenal agent to our market center. All right, let's talk about Bold. So Bold is going to be live stream, as I mentioned last week. It's a duration of 4 weeks, 2 hours, 2 times out of the week. And it is obviously for all levels. There will be a full agenda to it. And the launch will be this coming 20th. So I'm looking forward to it. Please, if you have not participated in Bold, I highly recommend. It's only $99. So Bold is back and it's exciting. It's a business to align you to finish strong on Q4 and start your 2021 even stronger. Completely redefine the momentum of Bold. Will teach you and how to return to the basic fundamentals, obviously through scripts, dialogues, and the ability to connect with other agents as well. So it's all about the accountability, redefining, supercharging your database, and the most powerful scripts that are going to be provided through Bold, and obviously to graduate. So if you are in doubt in regards to this, believe me, I've done Bold numerous of times, and I always pick up so many different ideas from it. So take full advantage of it. You don't have to be in a class setting like we traditionally have it. It'll be live stream, $99, can't beat it. It's a good investment on your real estate. So again, it'll be next week, October 20th. Any add-ons, Sonia?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the other added benefit from Bold is that since it's being live streamed in the Facebook group, you can watch it at any time. So if you can't make it right between that 11 and 1, you'll have that. But also in the past one, since we started doing the virtual Bold, people share all kinds of amazing documents in that Facebook group. So whether it has to do with business planning or listing presentations or ideas or like just their systems that they're doing to run, you know, high-level businesses, that's been a really amazing thing. So they're all under the files in the Facebook group, which you can only be a part of that if you're taking Bold. So I would really recommend it.
Absolutely.
Right, just for that. I got so many great forms from there for planning, for business building, luxury systems, like how to surprise and delight your clients with these 10 steps every time you have one, what to do to pass clients, that kind of stuff. So it's really good stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Sonia. Appreciate the additional information. So again, team, take full advantage. Bold, $99. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're doing it again. Our hiking adventure, Point Vista Lighthouse. It's going to be at the same location that we were this past August, but now we're doing the South Trail. We did the North Trail, now we're doing the South Trail. And thanks to Chris Rivera and his team from Lend US, they're going to be providing us with food as well. So it's going to be a Subway sandwich. Your choices are a veggie ham, cold cut, spicy Italian BMT, tuna and turkey breast. So please make sure to RSVP. You can reach out to Holland. She can put you on the list. We need a head count. It's this Saturday, folks, 10 a.m., Point Vista. So it starts at 10 o'clock. We're going to start immediately. For the ones that have already gone through it, there's plenty of parking. There's picnic tables. We'll have the social distance like we did. And then as soon as we come back, and then that's when we'll have our lunch. Drinks will be provided, but ultimately bring and hydrate too. You know, this South Trail is a little more intense, but this trail will take you through the backside of Terranea down to the beach itself if you want to go that deep into the trail. I'm looking forward to it. I know we already have a list of people that are going to be joining. Anyone is welcome. Anyone is invited. Family, children are invited. Pets are welcome as long as they're in a leash as well. I know the last time we had it, we had several doggies and some large dogs as well. So looking forward to this Saturday. So make sure to RSVP for your list of goodies that we're going to be providing. So looking forward to it, very excited. And not just that, just to corral and just bring that synergy that we know here at KW South Bay. All right, next slide. Okay, here's our October 19th through the 30th calendar. Some of the topics we have: title profiles with Nicole. We have our ALC. Everyone is welcome to participate in our ALC. We have Sonia and our PC group coaching. Power Hour with Sonia. We start bold. And also Kim Mosley will be having her Disclosure Practice 101. So take full advantage of the calendar. I know we send daily reminders or weekly reminders of all the events that we have. As I mentioned early, Fernando Diaz and myself in the office will be having our Halloween virtual costume event, and you know, some of the other classes that we're going to be teaching here at KW. So take advantage. Here's the list of classes. Next slide, please. I think next is Sonia. So Sonia, talk to us. Prospecting in our fourth quarter. Lift your lid. Love it.
So me and my topics, but I figured I would do this for you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen and do this, draw this out for you. But some of you might have heard about what we call the lid, right? We have a lid that sometimes we have to kind of break through. And so we had last year the great pleasure of having Gene Rivers present to our ALC at the ALC clinic in Los Angeles. And he went into this amazing presentation about the lid and how to plan for your life. So some of you who coach with me, you might have already seen me do this. So I apologize, just bear with me here. But can you guys all see my screen here?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and walk through this real quick. So the lid, and I'm gonna go kind of fast, but you guys take screenshots or you can get this from me on a document if you'd like. But this is a really interesting way to plan for your business, your life, the life by design, and your investments for the day when there is a day that you no longer want to or can't work anymore. And it's kind of like all in one plan. So L, right? I, and then D. L is your lifestyle. How much does it cost to be Simon every year if you have everything you want, right? So this is your wants. So it's going to be things like your house, cars, oops, slightly dyslexic here.
Cash. I want some cash.
There you go. You can tell what I'm thinking. So, you know, your boats. So you basically, you take this from your someday goals, your pipe dream goals, okay? And you take what do you want for your life, right? This can include, you know, your travel. It could include some aging parents that you have to pay for, right? It could include your kids' college. And how much does it cost? So you tally this stuff up for your perfect life, okay? And I'm just gonna say, we'll call it, my perfect life is gonna cost me $400,000 a year. I'm very expensive, clearly. So, okay, so then your I is your investments. Okay, so what Jean talked about is basically we want to know what do we have to also make. So we need to make this clearly down here, the 400,000. But what do we need to make so that we can keep purchasing investments so that we can have 400,000 or whatever your number is down here coming at you when you don't want to work anymore in passive income, right? So if we say that it's 400,000, right, then, you know, let's assume a return on investment of 10%. This means that you would have to have 4 million, right, in investments for you to get a 10%, which would be that every year, right? So let's say that you have $4 million property. So you're gonna buy, in your next 10 years before you retire, you're gonna buy one property a year, right? And so now you gotta buy these $400,000 homes each time. Well, and then they're your investment properties, so you definitely need at least 20% down. So 80 grand over here, right? So now you're at 480 because we gotta make this and we gotta make this, right? And then we're going to take the last piece, which is the D, which is debt. Okay, so this is mostly your taxes and it's gonna be your mortgages, etc. Okay, so now when you're up to that kind of tax brackets, right? Basically, we're gonna calculate it at 50% taxes. You can do less if you like. I'm just gonna do this for being even's sake. So we have 480, right? So at half of that, we need to make an extra 240 over here. All right, so now we have these three items that we're gonna put together. So we have a total of $720,000 that we need to make a year. Okay, this is to fund your now, which is the lifestyle, to fund your investments for the future, and to make sure that we don't get in any crazy tax debt here, right? So really, this is what you need in net. Okay, so now take this, take your average price point and figure out how many listings is that for the year. So at $600,000, you know, let's just say that it's 15 grand at 2.5%, right? So 720. 48 transactions at a $600,000 home price, right? So with that being said, there you have it. And then now you're doing 48 transactions and you're gonna do, you know, divided by 12, that's only 4 a month. Okay, so I know that some of you all, maybe your drunk monkey or something like that is going, what on earth? And so just think, you break it down, right, to the 4, and that's all you got to do. And you're not going after closings. We're going after the only thing we can control, which is the contract signed. So figure out, what does that look like for you? How are you going to do that? And there are still, we're doing business still. I know inventory's low. So maybe your drunk monkey is going, okay, there's no listings. But guess what? For having a transaction, you still need that listing side too. Someone is taking them. And fourth quarter is by far when all these agents are stepping into hibernation. I am not letting us do that. I'm gonna block the cave. And we are gonna take that market share, and you can all transform your lives to whatever that looks like in terms of your own lid, right? So if you guys need help.
I'm sorry, and just to add to that, we're going to tag team, Sonia, and make sure that the agents do not stop the end of the quarter. We're going to
Yeah,
blast off.
it's stupid. Everyone is going into hibernation, so it's our chance to actually take a piece of that. So let's be those people. Let's take Bold and use that as our weapon. And let's set up not only this quarter immediately and take that market share, but set up the first quarter to be checks instead of, you know, bills. So that is my first tidbit. I just want to give one more tip. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these cute little giving keys. So these are really great. It's called the Giving Keys. You can go to givingkeys.com or org. I'm not sure. I think it's org. If you Google the Giving Keys, you're going to see. So it's a nonprofit company that they are creating jobs for to end homelessness. So it kind of goes hand in hand with real estate. They make these keys in all kinds of shapes and sizes. These are just huge ones. I love them. You can have them made into a house key for as a closing gift for a client, but they also make them into jewelry, and they have some things on them like dream or love or inspire, like little words. And they're super cute, and it goes to a good cause. So if you need some closing gifts or you want to spice up giving those keys away to people, you can tell them, hey, and by the way, I support such and such organization. I mean, they do a lot of things. You can look at their impact. But it started in Los Angeles. So it's local. I was actually using these up in Portland, Oregon. So it's a pretty cool foundation. Anyway, that's my 2 tidbits for the day. So I hope you guys take Bold, take action, get into production when others aren't, and let's take the market share. All right?
Awesome.
Go team.
Awesome. Thank you, Sonia. Awesome stuff. I'm a true believer to that. You know, it's funny, something just resonated with the conversation with Sonia was a conversation I had with Alleghena. You know, we were talking about investment properties. In order for you to supplement and ultimately fulfill those, you got to be a phenomenal agent. You have to be a consistent closer. You know, this will give you those opportunities to have a phenomenal lifestyle, you know, when it comes to what you want, your needs and wants, your vehicles, your homes, your investments. And the conversation I was having with Al was very unique. And basically, you know, in order for you to be at that level and look, what is your exit strategy, right? What is your exit strategy when you're ready to hang it up and, you know, retire from real estate? You know, is investment properties, cash flow, income, you know, and I like the way Sonia put it into perspectives, because once you visualize it, see it, then it's more tangible. It's more tangible. So phenomenal stuff. Thank you, Sonia, for providing us with that information. All right, let's go ahead and continue. We're almost done, folks. We're almost done. So needs and wants. So I know the first listing is Aaron's coming soon. So Aaron, tell us about North Juanita Avenue in Redondo Beach.
Okay, let me give you a full description of this.
Well, it's a beautiful home there. It's you know what the dimensions are on that? The lot size?
The lot size is actually 59, about 6,000. There's 2 on the lot though. This is the front unit, and
Right.
it's 23 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and it actually has incredible ocean views, and it's going to be offered at 1.525. It's coming also. I'm going to photograph it later on the month, and it's going to be live on the MLS November 2nd.
November 2nd, phenomenal. And how did you get this listing, Aaron?
You know, I sent a text to a past client, and he responded. I had called him and left him a message before, so this time I was sending him a text just saying, hi, I hope you're doing well. And he says, funny that you text me because we needed your services. And we set up an appointment to have a happy hour, and we started talking about what they're looking to do, and ended up referring him. They're moving to Miami, and I got the referral over there as well. So it was a great opportunity. You know, texting, no matter which way, just make sure that you're in constant contact with the clients and letting them know that you're around, because you never know.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. That's a phenomenal story. Yeah. I mean, it's all about the connections, right, Aaron?
It sure is.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations. Looks like a beautiful listing. No doubt whatsoever that you'll get it in escrow. Awesome. Thanks for the information. All right, next slide, please. Okay, Joanne Farmer has a listing in the city of Marina Del Rey, 4315 Marina City Drive, Unit 1121C. It's listed for $587. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 935 square feet. If you have any questions, feel free to speak with Joanne Farmer. Next slide, please. Gary Nix has a listing in the city of Pasadena, 1550 Glen Avenue. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,384 square feet. Listing price $799. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Gary Nix. Mr. Bob Walaka has a lease listing. Oh, excuse me, not a lease. $35,000. Is Bob on the call? Bob? Okay, so Bob has a listing in the city of Gardena, 17705 Southwestern Avenue, Unit 104. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet. If you have any questions, reach out to Bob. $35,000 for this mobile home, manufactured home. We have listing in the city of Lomita. Jim Sapula has a property at 2319 254th Street. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,050. Listing price is $719. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Jim Sapula. Is Jim on the call? Maybe he can give us some information. All right, let's continue. Frank Kenny has 2 beautiful listings in the city of Torrance. 23506 Katrina Avenue and 23133 Daney Avenue. First property is a 3-bedroom, 1.75, 1,539 square feet. 835 is the listing price, and 1.149. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2345 square feet. If you have any questions, please reach out to Frank Kenny. Eric Basket has a listing in the city of Carson, 23231 Maribel Avenue. Listing price is $335. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,810 square feet. Any questions, reach out to Eric. All right, I think that's all. So let's go ahead and exit out of this real quick. And we are on schedule. So we are done for today. So thank you so much to our panelists. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you all for being on the call. Looking forward to our next one. Questions? No.
I was just going to say that it's Prime Day. Don't forget it's Prime Day.
Absolutely. So I value each and every one of you. Thank you again for being on the call. Thank you, panelists, for speaking to our group. Really appreciate it. You guys have a phenomenal day. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you on our next team meeting. Okay? Bye for now.
Good meeting. Good meeting. Excellent. Happy Hump Day, everybody.